Previous video was all about Afghanistan, but we need to talk specifically about Canada and how many Canadians are still over there in Afghanistan and what Trudeau's doing to help them out. Oh, sorry, Trudeau actually, doing something intelligent or productive. That's just such a foreign concept. Around 1,200 Canadians, or those with ties to Canada, still stuck in Afghanistan following the withdrawal of U.S. troops. Listen, the Liberal government can't even keep track of how many personnel or how many planes they have in the Air Force, so how do you expect them to take any care of any of the citizens that they have over there? Oh, I'm sure they probably sent them a telegram or something, probably sent them some fucking Purelator mail to try to get them out, right? Following Monday's final removal of U.S. troops in Afghanistan, Foreign Affairs Minister Mark Gadno said that around 1,250 Canadian citizens, family members, and permanent residents are still within Afghanistan. The announcement came during a Tuesday morning news conference, according to CP24. During the news conference, Garneau and Immigration Minister Marco Mendicino announced that Canada has agreed to accept 5,000 Afghans into their country. Cocksucker, dude. 1,200 Canadians over there. Bring over 5,000 Afghans. You're super smart. I hope they all settle in your neighborhoods. Oh, who am I kidding? They're going to get shipped to fucking Saskatchewan where you're just going to create a fucking race riot or some dumb shit like that to capitalize on. Who fucking knows? According to Garneau, Canada, as well as other allies, pushing the Taliban to allow those with valid travel documents. Yeah, just give them a fucking list. They're pretty good about not making sure that those guys don't blow up until everybody leaves and they start dragging them behind Black Hawk helicopters. During the conference, both Garneau and Mendicino were questioned on the steps the Canadian government is taking to get Afghan interpreters that helped Canada out of Afghanistan. Did they get up and leave at the same time that Biden would not take any answers? But let's see. Mendicino said the Canadian immigration officials are processing applications as quickly as possible and hopes to get more people out. Yep, whatever. You guys are bags of shit. But on the campaign trail, yesterday, oh, Trudeau let out a fucking doozy, my guys. This one was impressive. Like, if you thought it was embarrassing for him to say, oh, I don't really think about monetary policy as the prime minister of a fucking massive country and an economic powerhouse. Okay, that's weird. The she session, she covery, she mails that he likes to party around with. This one right here, this was just one of those full mask off moments. Trudeau says lessons from COVID crisis will help with climate crisis and many other crises he can come up with. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, when he's not being chased by different protesters out of there and it's finally reflecting in the polls, I'm going to hold my breath on this one. Fingers crossed, but things are looking better. Things are looking better, sort of. Told supporters on Monday that the lessons learned through COVID crisis would be helpful in tackling the climate crisis and the housing crisis. How? Locking people in places that they can't afford, they can't be in, they can't be kicked out of? Oh, okay. Just eat the bugs, stay in the pod. You will own nothing, you will be happy. Sweet. We learned from the COVID crisis, we will be applying to the climate crisis. Which one's that? Is that the one that started out as global warming, then became climate change, and now it's a climate crisis all over the course of like 15 years? Wow. So many branding switches. It's like a professional sports team with Native American heritage. The housing crisis to reconciliation, go fuck yourself, to making sure that everyone has good jobs. You get good jobs by creating good opportunities that are not linked to the government, but that's not your definition of good jobs. But hey, you probably played Monopoly once and you got a famous last name, therefore you have qualifications to have this job, right? And careers that carry them through and create good opportunities for their kids. Oh, your constituents are either too scared to be with members of the opposite sex, not because of like Me Too allegations or anything. They're just so socially awkward they would never ever venture outside the confines of their house, or they're all gay and they can't create kids anyways, unless you're referring to their fucking fur babies. Ugh. Or they're just 300-pound land whales who are fucking married to the government. So don't worry about any of your supporters having kids, said Trudeau to a mixed crowd of supporters of idiots and morons and protesters in Cambridge, Ontario. Was he chased out of that one? Oh, there's the lady who really likes the Taliban. She's the one who said that the Taliban were brothers, and the only reason that she said that is because it's a cultural difference, said the Canadian citizen. Right. Climate change is among the greatest long-term threat of our time. Yeah, you just keep pushing it off into the future. You never really give anybody any sort of solutions to it, but you just keep saying it's a problem. Go. Threat of our time, but it is also our greatest economic opportunity. Yes, to tax everybody into oblivion, because carbon tax, right? That's supposed to help, like draining the funds of legal, law-abiding citizens, you know, the people who just want to fucking make a living and, you know, keep taxing them out the ass. That's going to help. That's a great economic opportunity. Fucking dolts. We have a skilled workforce, not for much longer once you know, remove any incentive to go to work. Innovative spirit, the great spirit, yes, pass around the peace pipe, and natural resources at our fingertips. You don't like natural resources, though. And our plan has created new jobs and growth across Canada. Really? I was about to say something that would have got me in trouble on YouTube. Wow, that's impressive. Glad I caught myself. That's the one word you can't say. But it's fine, that's just such a preposterous statement to make in writing, and then for him to say, oh yeah, we're just going to go ahead and lock everybody down the next time that the climate crisis just kind of peaks up. So if we ever lose our stranglehold on power that we've achieved through the different retarded ways that we've combated COVID, we can just go ahead and use all of those powers, because we already laid the framework out there, and nobody really pushed back, and the courts are in our back pocket anyways, and nobody's going to fight us on this kind of stuff. So if anything decides to go sideways on us, we already have everything in place, so we can just go ahead and fucking lock people down. We can force them to do a whole bunch of weird dumb shit however we want to, because it'll be a crisis, a public health crisis. Racism will be a crisis. The climate will be a crisis. Questioning the government will be a crisis. Oh boy, never forget Bill C-10. It got defeated this time, but don't worry, that'll be their pet project for a minute. But now we actually have some recent polls, and every time that Justin Trudeau gets in front of a microphone and a campaign stop, his numbers go down, but the Conservatives are going up. It's not like they're going to get a majority, but it doesn't look like the Liberals are going to be the party in power. This is all right, as long as the PPC continue to track as they are. If they force the Conservatives to reform their position, not so much to fortify Aaron O'Toole, because he is still quite a good representation of his surname. I want him out of there. I don't want him to be a leader. I don't want him to be prime minister. But these polls are looking like that, and it is the, oh god, this is going to hurt coming out. This is the second best option. It's still the most likely option, and the only solution we have at our fingertips, and it'll stop some of this insanity from happening. It's not the best thing that could happen, but it's I like this a lot better. Listen, okay, if we have to choose between Aaron O'Toole and Justin Trudeau, I'll be hanging with the guy with the fucking hairpiece over the fucking drama teacher any day of the week. But it's still like choosing your sauce for a plate of spaghetti, either fucking blood or shit, and then you can wash it down with a glass of piss. Like, it's neither of it's scrumptious. I'll take the one that kind of looks like a fucking meat sauce over the plate that looks like the makeup that was full of the makeup that the Prime Minister uses to go out on Halloween. The Conservatives continue to maintain their lead over the Liberals in polls. As of August 30th, federal polling by Main Street Research, which is one of the trusted sources that is out there. Federal polling. The Conservative Party of Canada, 37%, up 3 points. And the Liberal Party of Canada, 29%, down 4 points. The NDP, go fuck your mother. Bloc Québécois, 6%, down 2%. And the People's Party of Canada, up 4 points, 6%. That's awesome. That's awesome. And remember, they were supposed to hit like a 4% threshold in order to get into the debates, but Maxime Bernier is still not allowed to be at the leaders' debates because Purple Man bad. Listen, this is still my party of choice. Everything that I've seen so far, they're getting my vote, and it really doesn't matter in Grand Prairie. It's like I said before, like a plus 30 fucking district for the CPC. Even though our representative has literally done fuck all. I'd show you a resume, but I could also pull up a fucking blank page too and just show you what the fuck is going on. There's his voting record. He does nothing. He does nothing for anybody, but that's what you get. It's just ideologically possessed zone. Hey, it's no better than just being in the middle of fucking Chicago. Okay, your vote, unless you're fucking Kennedy in the 60s and you're running shit, wink wink nudge nudge, really doesn't mean shit, because it's just gonna be fucking blue no matter who, but at like a 30-40% fucking clip. Up here, it's gonna be that exact same clip for the Conservatives. Still gonna be blue because color schemes are different in the United States as opposed to everywhere else around the world, but you gotta make those changes somewhere. And because it's going to be a minority party or a minority government, by all accounts, listen, if the silent majority is on the side of the Liberal Party of Canada, I will be booking the next... Oh, I can't even take a flight because I'm not getting the jab. Just be loading up my vehicle with everything that I own and getting the fuck out of here because it's going to get hairy. But it's just going to be another minority government, and it's just going to be this flip-flop pattern that seems to happen every 20 years up here. Conservatives do something catastrophically fucking stupid, don't get enough from a majority. The Liberals continue to fall down their fucking leftist rabbit hole, and maybe they'll have to eat it on this one. Because there was no reason that Trudeau needed to call this election. But he wanted to. And it looks like he's going to pay the price. Which is always a good thing. So he won't have an opportunity to turn Canada into Australia. Which we're going to be talking about next. Yes. Good segue. Good segue. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.